Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Oh, hey, Karen. What's going on?
Hey, Rob.
I got this thing zoomed in pretty. You know, normally you can see the desk right here, and I've got this thing kind of. Look, we're going to do a little production. Watch this little magic trick right here. Oh, you know what? This is no magic trick. I put the camera up too high this morning. That's what the problem is.
No magic tricks this morning?
No magic tricks.
Dang. That's what I came here for this morning.
Forget it. I guess we'll just sign off then. No, normally.
Okay, everybody have a great day.
Well, normally, you know, you can see the top part of the desk right here.
Yeah, you can.
You know, and I normally have my LH.
The coffee pot.
Yeah.
I mean, the coffee cup.
My
Yep.
LH Jewelers cup. Where did that thing run off to?
I think it's behind the monitor over there.
Okay. Yeah, everything's. Yeah, here.
Oh, nope.
No. Somebody walked out. Elliot, somebody walked out with your mug. Well, that's all right.
We can turn this around.
Yeah.
That's got his name on it.
Yeah, there you go. That's Elliot's Jewelers Diamonds right here for you this morning. We'll show that in a little bit. Well, hey, welcome in as we get rolling on another wonderful episode of Good Morning Huntsville. It's crazy to think we're here on another Monday.
A non-mimosa Monday.
Monday, but you have
Somebody's going to feel bad for us and bring us some at some point, hopefully.
Is there anything in that coffee?
It's empty. I needed it this morning.
You missed the stat from last week. Yeah, one of the stats on the, we do like things you need to know, and there was something about 35% of people put this in their coffee. What is it? And
Cream?
Yeah, well, that's, no.
It wasn't?
Whiskey.
Oh, okay. That sounds okay.
Somebody was off to a great Monday. Well, hey, we want to welcome you in. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this marvelous, magnificent Monday. As always, we're so thankful to have you with us. Big shout out, Paul Oley, the Gallery. Paul, we love you, man, for all of your custom photography, framing, and more. Go see my good friend Paul Oley. Also a huge shout out, as always, to Elliot Herzlich online at elliotsjewelers.com. We appreciate the generous support from Elliot and all that he does here in this community. He has been so involved, and we so appreciate him. And we are continuing our Diamonds of Hope, Karen. Somebody needs to get you this, Karen.
That's very pretty.
Yeah, somebody needs to get the friends. I still have 14 of these remaining. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. My sister said when she comes into town, she's coming in for Fair on the Square. She's getting one.
Oh, good.
Today's Monday, so if you would like to, maybe you're saying, Rob, I'd like to support this, but I don't feel comfortable doing my credit card online. That's understandable. You can come here to the church Monday through Thursday here at First Baptist. $100 suggested donation will get you these beautiful diamond earrings and pendant that you can get out of the doghouse if you're a guy and you're in trouble. In fact, as I look at this, I'm being a hypocrite because why haven't I got Bridget this yet?
Well, that means you hadn't been in the doghouse, which is good.
Yes, I will be now that I've acknowledged this. So, Bridget, possibly that one of these may come your way. We have 13 of these remaining. So do this. All the proceeds, by the way, will go help to benefit Care Center Huntsville. Jackie Barham and her staff do such a wonderful job helping ladies who are going through, that could be one of the most difficult decisions. It's the biggest blessing, but it's also could be the most difficult situation because you're thinking, I'm not a woman, obviously, but, having a baby, there's a lot that goes through your mind, right?
Of course.
You got to figure out, okay, now it's the joy of being a mother, but then it's, wait a minute, now how am I going to do this and do this and do this and do this?
Unfortunately, they don't come with instruction manuals, so you got to figure it out.
No, the only manual they come with is the Bible, but, then you got to interpret that too. So,
Right.
But our friends at Care Center Huntsville, they will guide you through the process. They help so many women in our community. And dads, too. Dads may not, even simple things that, we take for granted now as a dad. Changing a diaper. I was scared to change a diaper when I first had my first baby, when I had Braylon. I didn't know what I was doing.
But you figured it out.
I did. And I also figured out it's a lot easier to change a little girl's diaper than a little boy's diaper.
Yes.
So, Bridget, thank you so much for
Right.
being the 90% diaper changer of Caden. My wife does a wonderful job. But, yeah, we wanted to support Care Center Huntsville. We still have quite a few of these pendants. And, again, a suggested donation of only $100. You can go online to hellohuntsvilletx.com. And you can do it there. Or if you want to come by here, First Baptist, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3. We have these. You can make a check out to Care Center Huntsville. Just leave it here at the church. Or you can also do it through Hello Huntsville. Either way, we'll get them the cash, and we appreciate that. Also, here on this Monday, could not bring you this show without our great friends from Walker County Federal Credit Union. None other than the Karen Denman joining us this morning. It's good to see you.
You too.
You're glowing this morning.
You think?
You're usually glowing, but I have to say, I think I know why this morning.
Well, I didn't go to the pool this weekend, so.
Didn't go to the pool.
Nope.
But you got a little bit of rest finally.
I did, finally.
let us-
Much needed rest.
Let us know a little bit about everything going on leading up to not getting much rest. You've been busy.
Well, yeah, just, vacation. Sometimes you need a vacation after the vacation. So, and then I had pneumonia, so there was that. But anyway, I did a whole lot of nothing this weekend, and it was awesome.
If you don't mind me asking, can we go back to the I can't say it,
The mayor's ball?
No, the pneumonia thing. I don't know why I could not say that. It's one of those, so many folks, I even, growing up, I had pneumonia, didn't even know it. Is it one of those things that sometimes, like for you, did you feel just kind of groggy? Did you feel a pain or a tightness in your chest? Was there any symptom that you had that was like something doesn't feel right?
I just felt bad all over. Head stopped up and coughing, and my eyes get all matted up. And so I didn't know what it was. I just assumed it was a cold, and I kept putting it off, thinking, tomorrow I'll be better. And then the day before vacation, I was worse. And so I knew I couldn't get on that plane feeling bad or even go on vacation feeling bad.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor, got a couple of shots, and got better.
Yeah, it's one of those, and I'm glad, you did, because you hear of so many people that they get sick and they just put it off and put it off, and then all of a sudden it's something, pretty crazy. Well, we do want to welcome all of you in. We want to welcome in everybody now that's joining us on Spirit Radio FM. I just flipped the switch on that. My bad. It's sometimes Monday it takes a while to crank the engine and get things started. So welcome in everybody on Spirit Radio FM as well. We are here with Karen Denman of Walker County Federal Credit Union. We couldn't be here every Monday without our friends from Walker County Federal Credit Union. They also are big supporters not only of so many things here in this community, but also our New Waverly football broadcast this season. And New Waverly got a big-time win this to open up district play versus a very tough Warren team. And now the toughest battle of the season will be this Friday, second district game, as they will be playing a team by the name of the Newton Eagles, who defeats their opponents usually 60-0 every game. So,
oh, wow.
So we're going to see how things will go, but we could not even bring you that coverage without Walker County Federal, so we appreciate you. And, friends, so many people, I'll keep saying this, they ask, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? The best way you can help is when you hear about these businesses on this show or through our Spirit Radio FM app, go support them. Go to Walker County Federal, set up a bank account. It's not hard at all to do. I mean, what is it? You could be in and out of there in 15 minutes, and be you can even do it online, right?
Part of it you can, yeah.
But it's so easy to do it. So just go online, get started. If they need you to come in, they'll call you. Of course, they'll verify who you are. It's not
Right.
going to say like.
And once you're a member, we can do pretty much everything online. So we make it as easy as we can.
And it's easy too. I know folks in New Waverly may say, well, I'm in New Waverly and they don't have a location here. Once you set it up, as much as I hate to say this, you don't even need to come in, really.
That's true.
You can do the check deposits online.
Right. And the online app, you can see what's cleared your account, what's got deposited to your account. You don't have to call. And, we try to make it really easy and convenient.
You can set up a joint account like Bridget and I did, which I've only put a little bit in there. Bridget was like, I'm not putting anything in that. You just keep your own. It was an idea I had, but I don't know if it's going to.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to
Hasn't gone over very well, huh?
I don't think it's going to fly. But go by and see Walker County Federal. They will take care of you. Great folks here in our community. They've been serving this area for many, many years. And Karen and the wonderful staff there will get you taken care of. Karen, I know we got a lot to go over today. It's just you and I hanging out. And so we do want to say hello to the audience. And the audience out there, interact with us. Let us know that you're there this morning. We'd love to hear from you. Love to see you this morning. Let us know what you're thankful for today as we're getting started as well. I wanted to jump right into this, an event that I really, really, I don't like using the word hate because that's kind of a strong word, but I was just kind of discouraged that I wasn't able to go. And it was, the invitation was there and I was hoping to go, but with children and schedules, it would have been really hard. But it was Thursday night, this past Thursday, the inaugural Mayor's Ball. You were there.
I was there. It was a great
Tell us about
event,
it.
great turnout. Samantha, Mayor Humphrey's daughter, kind of put everything together. She did a wonderful job, and they raised money for CASA of Walker County and Meals on Wheels program. So it was great.
And I heard there was a good turnout, too.
Very good turnout and valet parking. So, there's not a lot of parking right there where the Vintage is. So, yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
I was going to ask if you took advantage of that because Samantha had called here to the church and said, hey, do you mind if we use that? I said, no, not at all. Thursday nights, we don't have anything going on. And so they used our new parking lot over here to do it. Did you take advantage of the valet?
Well, luckily, when we got there, somebody was backing up. So we got a front row parking spot.
Awesome. You had the cone. Actually, what it was, it really said VIP and it said like Karen on it. And
Right.
That's
yeah,
what it
that
was.
was it. It was just my special spot.
Well, I heard too, it wasn't like it was a very elegant event.
It was.
But there wasn't an actual kind of like a dinner, but there was hors d'oeuvres. Is that
Right,
right?
right.
What was the food? Tell us about that.
There were Farmhouse did the food. There were the coconut shrimp. There was some meatballs. There was a cash bar for Rodeo. Rodeo sponsored that. But it was just really, really nice.
Yeah, fun. Well, we appreciate Mayor Humphrey, all that he does here in the community. Karen, of course, you serve on council and do a great job with that. And so many moving parts within our city. And I encourage you, it's easy to sit back on the sidelines. Somebody had brought this up the other day, and I'm all about being patriotic. And I understand the importance of a flag and those kind of things. Absolutely, because my grandfather was in World War II. My dad was in Vietnam. But sometimes things happen beyond our control. And I don't know if you saw the post. Somebody had posted on one of the social media about the flag at Cape Bar Ross Park. And
I
said,
did not see that.
Yeah, and somebody was like, well, this is, I'm just going to say what it was. They said, this is a disgrace. I can't believe they would do this. And I get it. But, having a flag up there, the wind from Barrel when it came through kind of wrapped that up. Well, you can't just get a rope and take that thing down and put it back up. And so kudos to the city because somebody had acknowledged that. And there was a young man that worked for the city saying, hey, we're working on getting that taken care of. And I believe they got a fire truck ladder up there and got that thing fixed. And so, I go to say all this because it's easy to sit back and to criticize and to look at things. Get involved.
Right. There's no shortage
get
of
involved.
things to be involved in. You can pretty much just take your pick and get involved with something.
There's committees to be involved in. I served twice on the Tourism Advisory Board. Love doing that. I'd like to do it again, but they probably won't have me because every time I've done it, something came up. Like the first
Thanks, Rob, but nah, we got it.
Yeah, we can't depend on that. No, the first time I did it, I was at all the meetings, by the way. But the first time that happened, we had the opportunity to move, and so that's why I had to leave. Then when I came back, I wanted to rejoin. Well, I also wanted to do HLI, and How convenient. The HLI days fell exactly on the days that we had our
Of course.
tourism board. So I had to step down yet again. But it's a great organization to be a part of. And it's not just a committee like the tourism committee. There's so many other things you can be involved in.
Absolutely. There's a lot of boards and commissions that you can get involved with city council. I mean, on the city of Huntsville, you can go to the website, find something there, or just the nonprofits around here, Safe House, CASA, the animal shelter. There's just something for everybody to do if you just want to get involved and help.
Yeah, Rita B. Huff, their new facility's coming along nicely. You know, talking about other things that are coming to this community. I've never been a pickleball player, but everybody talks about it, and I think maybe I need to. Here's the deal. I thought about getting into it, Karen, because I need to do something. You know, I like to play basketball, and, you know, I haven't done that in a while. We have a gym right across the street here at the church that, you know, we can use any time. But I thought, man, pickleball looks like a lot of fun.
I've never seen it played, honestly. I heard it's like a cross between ping pong and tennis. Is that right? But I've never seen it played. So
I cruised over to we have tennis courts out there at Elkins, and they use one of them for pickleball. I don't have a desire to play pickleball anymore. Though it's like super competitive. I just want something, you know, is there anything in life that's just like doesn't have to be super competitive? Everything. I just want to have a casual. Perfect example. Even dominoes, right? Even dominoes.
Right. People get serious about their dominoes. They definitely do.
Russell Humphrey had a community gathering, and that was fun. This was before he became mayor, but it was a nice little community event. And, you know, Clint Mack showed up and had his big smoker, and we cooked, and it was a lot of fun. We had a domino tournament. I thought, okay, well, this is just casual. No, it's not. I thought I knew how to play dominoes. These guys are holding all the dominoes in one hand.
Right. And they already know what you have and what you're fixing to play, and I'm still counting dots.
They got mad at me because they knew what I had.
Yep, they do.
But in my brain, I can't add that quick. Let me just say I ended up winning the tournament.
Really?
Yes. And
wow, beginner's luck.
Yeah, and I think it upset those guys because they're like, who's this?
Oh, I'm sure it did.
I know how to play dominoes. I don't know how to, like, do this with my hands.
Yeah.
And I mean, these dudes literally, somehow they were like, had the dominoes stuck to their wrist. It was like they were stuck there. And we get down to the very end, and I felt like I had the winning, you know, it was my turn, and I felt like I had the winning domino to break. I forget what we were playing that day, what we were playing to, but I felt like I had it, but I kept adding up everything in my head. And some dude was finally like, come on, man, you got the 5 or the 6-4.
Yeah.
He's like, we know you got it.
Sure enough.
I was like, yeah. And he goes, throw it down. Let's get this over with. I was like, my bad, dude.
But you won. That's
Yeah.
great.
It lingered on. That game lingered on in my turn probably for 8 or 9 minutes. Those guys were like, man, these guys are about to like.
They're not going to invite you next time.
No, but we had a good time. It was good fellowship. But, you know, just being involved, I talk about that, you know, getting out, being involved. There's so many organizations you can be a part of and support. And that's what I love about this community. Karen, I don't know if I've ever really asked you this before. You know, you're, of course, on council. Did you serve, like, on any other boards before joining council? Anything that you were involved in?
Oh, yeah. I'm involved in a lot.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Go Texan, Safe House. I was on the animal shelter board before. Of course, served on the chamber board. So, yeah, I'm pretty active.
I knew that. I wanted the audience to know.
I'm very involved, and so is Walker County Federal Credit Union. We try to be a part of everything that we can.
Yeah, you'll see WCFCU's name on everything in town, and that's so important. One of the big events that's coming up, of course, you guys sponsor the Wine Knot every year. That's coming up already, the 50th annual. Is that right? 50th?
50th, yes.
50th Fair on the Square coming up this Saturday. So it's going to be a good opportunity for families and folks to come out. It's a great economic benefit for our community. And again, of course, Walker County, you guys are involved in that as well. So come on out this weekend, have fun. I think I have a little bit of family coming in town. My sister's going to come into town, and I'm trying to convince my cousin. We kind of call her Gigi, like grandma. I told her after my grandma passed away, I said, you know, no one's ever going to replace Nanny, but I said, you're pretty doggone close. And so we love Gigi Pat's what we call her. So she may come hang out with us. Can I share a story with you real quick?
Sure.
This was the craziest thing yesterday. Those of you that are on social media may follow this or saw this yesterday. Bridget and I usually find a place to go eat after church every Sunday. It's just kind of a tradition. Now, I miss the days of going to Grandma's house after church. That was solid.
You can't beat Grandma's cooking.
Solid tradition. And we mentioned, Billy was talking about it on Friday about how we've gotten away from that. And I think we need to find a way to get back to that, because there was something special about gathering around that table.
Right.
For a Sunday lunch or a Sunday late lunch. It was always a late lunch. It was like 2:00. But the strangest thing happens. Yesterday, we get out of church, and it was a little bit later than we normally do, because we were talking, and Braylon was talking, and when little ones start talking, you just let them talk, and the little ladies were hugging on Braylon and Kaden, and so we just kind of hung out for a while. So we finally got out of here, I think around 12:30 yesterday. Normally we're out of here by like 12:15 or so. I told Bridget, I said, I'm really craving some Mexican food. She goes, no, let's go to City Hall Cafe. City Hall's good. Best chicken fried chicken, hands down. And so I said, okay. When Bridget says, let's go somewhere,
then we do what Mama says.
We do what Mama says. So we go to City Hall Cafe. I don't know if City Hall Cafe is like Sonic. Do you know about Sonic, how there's the cool side of Sonic to park on? Have you ever?
Oh, back in high school, yeah. There was a cool side and the nerd side.
See, it's known that every Sonic has that cool side, right? City Hall Cafe, in my opinion, is kind of the same way. The cool side is on that right side, because it's right there by Sam Houston Avenue. You see out the windows all the traffic. They got all the cool decorations. Not saying it's not a cool side, but it's just kind of like the more mellow side is to the left. Have you ever sat on the left side of City Hall Cafe?
Well, that's where the bar is.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
the left side. so the left side, for us, it's just like it's like this big open area. It's usually there's nobody in there on Sunday during lunch, and so it's always, I'll just say, it's kind of dead in there. Well, guess where they sit us? On the left side. And I don't ever tell them, like, we want to go to the right side. I just let them sit it because they know where they need to sit people. They got that big chart when you walk in, by the way.
They probably would have. Accommodated you if you wanted to sit on the other side.
But I was like, we just got we're doing the Beatitudes here on Sundays, and one of them was like, blessed are the meek, be humble and don't get bent out of shape. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get bent out of shape over where they're going to sit me. I'm making the story really long when it doesn't have to be, by the way, Karen. So we go in.
Get to the point, Rob.
We go in. I'm leaving you hanging. We go in. We sit down. We order our food. There's a few other people on that side. The other side was completely packed, but we get our food. Bridget gets up. Braylon is now potty trained. It's great. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lord. The diapers are getting far and fewer. She has to have one overnight.
Right.
But she does the pull-ups now, and it's so great. It's the wallet's already feeling the love. So, but she's also like, every time she feels a little something, she's like, gotta go TT, gotta go TT. So we go all the time, which is fine by me.
And something about going into a restaurant, kids always have to go. Yeah.
So she said, Mom, I got to go TT. We had already ordered our food. Bridget and Braylon go to the restroom. I'm sitting there with Caden, feeding him, and he's having fun. And, he has his own little side food while we're waiting for our meal. Then all of a sudden, this gentleman walks in with this lady, and I said, my goodness, they look familiar. It ends up being my cousins from Colbert, Oklahoma, who, by the way, completely forgot that Bridget and I live in Huntsville. It's just a God thing. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. They walk in, and I mentioned this left side because normally they seat you on the right side.
And you would have never seen them.
Would have never seen them. They come in. They put them on they say, well, come right this way. All of a sudden, I said, my goodness, that's my cousin Joe and my Aunt Ruth. I call them Aunt and Uncle. They're cousins. But we always called them Aunt Ruth and Uncle Joe. And they walk in, and I said, you got it. My jaw dropped, and his jaw. I said, what are you doing here? He goes, what are you doing here? I said, man, we come here.
I live here.
Yeah, I said, we come here after church. But we hadn't been in a long time. And I said, what are y'all doing? They said, well, we were down in Beaumont visiting our granddaughter because she's having another child. And we decided just to take a back road back home up to Colbert, Oklahoma. They wanted to stay off 45. They like to just drive. And so they were on 75. And my cousin told his wife, goes, I don't think we've ever stopped in Huntsville. Let's stop in Huntsville. And isn't that crazy, that divine appointment? We ended up having the best talk for 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's so nice.
And they were at my dad's funeral. My dad and my cousin Ruth talked all the time. Now, they weren't related themselves because my cousin Ruth and Joe are on my mom's side, but my dad developed a very special friendship with them. And so it's kind of funny. My dad would always call. My dad was very direct with how he would address people. And if And if you had to know my dad's sense of humor, well, he would get on the, and by the way, my cousin Joe's a preacher. He has his own church in Colbert, Oklahoma. And so it's funny because you would not think that someone would say this to a pastor. Well, this was my dad. He'd get on the phone and go, "How you doing, you old fart?" That's what he would say to him all the time. And so Joe would always, he told me that. He goes, I miss your daddy calling me, telling me that. He goes, that was some of the most highlights that I ever had was when your dad would call and joke around with me. But I just thought that was such an incredible divine appointment. And the fact that they just, my Aunt Ruth goes, I just didn't put two and two together about being in Huntsville and y'all living here. And she goes, now that you said that, yeah, I know that you've lived here. And it was just the neatest thing. Like I said, we ended up having a 2.5-hour lunch and just talked and caught up, even though they were out. I asked them to sing because they also sing. So I asked them to sing at my dad's funeral, which they graciously did. But I'm sitting there thinking, my goodness, how cool is this?
That is neat.
Braylon didn't want to leave, by the way, because they had a little Shih Tzu dog. I forget what the mix is. It's like a Shih Tzu and something else. One of those little puffy white dogs.
Yeah, puffy white dog. Yeah.
You would like it. You would like this kind of dog, a little puffy white dog. It's kind of like a cat, okay? Kind of a
perfect.
sweet cat. Well, they had it in the car, and they had the car on, of course, but so after we got done, they were like, well, hey, we're going to go check on the dog. Y'all come outside because Braylon wanted to see the dog. Well, Braylon climbs up in their car, and she would not get out.
Oh, my goodness.
And
Y'all are going to have to get that baby a dog.
Well, she goes, no, Daddy, I'm going to Oklahoma. She did not want to leave. She started screaming when I took her out of that car. She wanted to go. But I just wanted to share that story because maybe it's some inspiration this morning that you never know who's going to come into your life each day. You never know.
True.
It could be a long-lost friend. It could be a long-lost relationship. That would probably wouldn't fly over well. But it could. It could be somebody like family. I mean, we're talking Colbert, Oklahoma. That's way up. That's hours and hours and hours away from here. And of all the places that they could have stopped,
right?
They go through Huntsville. They stop at City Hall, and that'll never. I guarantee that will never happen again, ever, with like that. So I wanted to share that. It just brought me so much joy.
I bet it did.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So you never know. That's the inspiration. Always be mindful of those around you and never take for granted the opportunities that you have to spend with someone. I loved that 2.5-hour conversation. And I kind of got emotional on the inside because we started talking about my grandma, and when we did, my cousin Joe, he kind of teared up and he goes, he called her sis, and he goes, he called her Skeeter. That was her nickname for him. And he goes, I sure miss Skeeter. And he kind of choked up because they spent so much time together. And then we talked about my dad. But then I started thinking, this is an opportunity to make new traditions.
Right.
And I was sitting there thinking, how cool would it be for my little girl to go spend the summers up in Oklahoma with them? They would love to have her up there.
I'm sure.
So I told Bridget, we need to find a way when Braylon's just a couple of years older, I need to find a way to make that happen so she can have a tradition of going to go see them in the summers.
Yeah.
So you have any family, Oklahoma?
I don't. And on my dad's side, he had a big family, and on my mom's side, her mother had lots of sisters, and so I grew up with lots of aunts and uncles and cousins, and unfortunately, it seems like when the grandparents pass away, those things just kind of dissolve, and it's unfortunate, but yes, had some good times with cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff.
It's so strange, talking about, family. Like there's cousins that you have and that I have that you never really see that much. And then when you see them, it kind of feels not like it's a bad thing, but you kind of like, why don't we do this more often?
Yeah.
I've got cousins that are around my age or a little bit younger that I never talk to hardly at all. I see them on Facebook.
Right.
But
I used to be really close with my,
Yeah.
first cousins, and unfortunately, we just don't see each other
Yeah, and it's
that
nothing
much.
bad, just that life happens,
Yeah.
So that's the encouragement here today, Karen. I'm going to take my own advice. Sometime this week, pick up the phone and call a long-lost relative and just let them know you're thinking of them. I called my uncle. I waited a couple of weeks after my aunt passed away because this was very recent, and my uncle I know he's just a good man. He's one of the kindest men that I know, and I'd call him once in a while, but now I really want to call and check on him just to make sure he's doing okay. My uncle, I called him he's 90 years old. I called him and left a message with him. They haven't called. By the way, y'all haven't called me back yet. They haven't called me back yet, but
Pick up the phone.
pick up the phone. But just make the call. If there's somebody, now some of you may have some barriers there, and I understand that, but if you don't, you know, or even if you do, and it's something minuscule, just call and say, hey, I'm sorry we haven't talked. I'm sorry for whatever happened in the years. I just wanted to call and let you know I'm thinking of you.
Yes.
And
you're right, because you never know when they may not be here tomorrow.
My dad, I was talking to my aunt about this yesterday during that lunch, and I said, you know, one of the greatest. In fact, I wrote a college paper about this last night. It's kind of funny how all this mixes together. But I told my aunt, I said, you know, my dad, there was a couple of relationships that were really, I don't know the right word, tense. There was some tension. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, my dad had really worked hard the last 3 months of his life. He knew that something was on the way. He really did. And I think that he really worked hard those last 3 months trying to build bridges with everybody that maybe had a barrier had came up. And one of those specifically that I can think about is my cousin. My dad had made some comments. Now, you know, full disclosure, my dad had a little bit of crown in him when he made this comment. You know, he liked a crown, but he loved the Lord. And but he had made some comments, and I even told my cousin, I said, man, Dad just had a few too many, and that was, you know, several years ago. And my dad was very close to this person in our family, and that relationship got strained because of that. And I'll never forget, my cousin calls me and he goes, man, is everything okay with your dad? Well, I knew that my dad was going through some cancer. My dad didn't want to make a big deal. All he ever said was, well, I got a little bit of cancer, but I'll be all right. That's what he told me. He's like, I got a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And he had just started chemo for some esophageal cancer, and he was doing fairly well. But my cousin had called and said, man, your dad called me like 3 times to apologize to me. He's like, is everything okay? And he's like, and I forgave him. It's like, it really meant a lot that he did that. And I enjoyed talking to him, and I forgave him. But is everything okay? And my dad wouldn't have wanted me to say. I said, yeah. I said, I think he's just realizing he's getting older and he's trying to make things right.
Right.
And, you know, I would later find out that he had called several people and talked to him that way. And he realized that there was things in his life that he needed to make right with people. And maybe this is today for you, you know. Maybe today's the day that you need to make something right. And those are tough conversations. It's not easy. Very tough conversations. You know, I won't go into details, but there was some friction, you know, for me coming back here. And, you know, I felt in my heart that I needed to say something to a specific person. And I'm at the UPS store, and I feel this weird sense of this person's going to come in. Well, guess what? They did. And I ignored it. I pretended like I didn't see him. And then when I walked out, oh, hey, how you doing? Shook a hand and walked out. And I felt this tug of like, I put that person there for you to say something to. I really feel like the Holy Spirit spoke to me saying, I put him there and I didn't fulfill what I was supposed to do. Well, guess what happens? Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
Yeah, I never did. You know, you probably know,
who you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I
And it's
do.
nothing bad. But so then the next day, Karen, we're doing ambassadors and then we go to eat. You know, it wasn't like we do a thing now to where we usually as an entire group go out to eat once a month. Well, this wasn't even that day. Just the group I was with, we decided let's go get something to eat because we all had time. So we go to eat. Guess what? Guess who walks in by themselves?
So did you offer
Yes.
that person to sit
No,
and
I did not.
have lunch with you?
No, I didn't. And that was the next tug. You should have did that. But some lady in our group did. Oh, come sit with us. Guess who sits right in front of me? That person.
So you had no choice but to speak.
You talk about just this weird tension and friction. But at that moment, I knew, okay, God, I know what you're doing. This is the third scenario now.
So you better be
And
nice.
so we talked, and then afterwards, I said, hey, can I talk to you outside? It's important to have conversations like that in private,
Right.
not around. So I said, hey, I just want to, even though I don't feel, here's the deal, even though I'm just going to be transparent, even though sometimes in life we feel like maybe there was things that happened that wronged us, we still need to offer an olive branch, you know, or just ask for forgiveness. I said, look, man, if there was ever anything that I did, which I know there was, you know, about the way that I handled certain situations or ended something, I said, I apologize for that. And I just said, will you forgive me? And it was a very good conversation. And after that, Karen, this whole weight, even right now as I re-talk about it, it's like this weight lifted.
Yes,
And I was
because you
like-
can carry it around, and it's heavy.
And it's not worth it.
It's not.
There's nothing that you can change about the past. And there's a lot of things in my past that were really, really, really good. We all, I think, have those, right? There was things in my past that I miss dearly. Now, relationship-wise, no, Bridget, don't worry. I love you, sweetheart. There's nothing on that. But there are things in my career that I worked really hard to achieve that I miss dearly. And there was times when I'd start dwelling on it that I would literally get depressed, and it would make me sick.
Yep. I know the feeling.
And I finally got to a point to where I felt like that was the one thing that I needed to do. Now, does it ever go away? No. Some of those things are going to be with you the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. It's like someone, and I'm not saying like as an addict, but a friend of mine who's an addict says, you never get over the addiction, but you learn to get through it. Mm-hmm. And you learn how to manage it and handle it. And I kind of feel like there's some things in our past that maybe we don't ever get over, but we learn to get through. And as a believer, I believe we get through it with the relationship with the Lord, but that's my belief. But you can't hold on to that stuff.
Right. It weighs too heavy.
Yeah.
You just have to let it go.
And it's, Karen, I mean, I guess this is a cool thing about growing up. You start to realize things that maybe you didn't realize before. It's hard. As a young person, you hear about these people talking about letting go. We've all been around that, right? As a young person growing up, you've probably heard somebody say, well, I had to let this go or do that. Yeah. And as a young person, you hear those things and you think about, oh, that seems easy. But then when you get older and you experience it, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It is a daily grind, and you have to be intentional about the way that you think. You have to be intentional about the things that you say, and you have to be mindful. And that is a word that I've really started to learn over the past couple of years, is being mindful. Mm-hmm. And you have to train yourself when your little brain starts to go down those rabbit holes and relive things of the past. Man, you got to tell yourself, stop.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't go there, because it's like a firework, man. Mm-hmm. That's a fuse. That little rabbit hole is a fuse. Mm-hmm. And when you find that rabbit hole, there ain't just one rabbit in there. There's a whole nest of them.
Right.
And then things just start
scattering
everywhere. Yeah, so I don't know why we talked about that, but a little inspiration this morning. So.
Yes, for sure.
Well, hey, we are going to have a keyword since it is Walker County Federal Credit Union Day here on the show. We are going to have the keyword today is you're going to receive some money from me. I'm giving away a little cash today. But the word, Karen?
Is rest. Because we all need some rest. We're all so busy and we have so many things going on, and especially if you're involved in a lot of stuff, and sometimes you just have to stop and say, you know what, I'm going to rest today.
That's the key word, rest. Now, we're not talking like eternal rest. We're just talking about
right. We don't, just for the day.
Yeah, just a little bit of rest today, all right? So, well, let's take a quick break. We're going to get to folks who are chiming in here in just a few moments. There's someone very special that joins us on Monday. We're going to acknowledge her in a moment.
Her birthday's coming up this week, too.
Oh, which day?
October 2nd.
That is coming up. Mm-hmm. Boy, is that that's Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, there may be a special birthday song, by the way. Folks.
Oh, awesome. She would love that.
Folks will have to chime in on that. I'm going to get with my producers over an AI production company to come up with the song. The keyword will be rest today, but don't rest for a moment. Don't put it in yet, because during this break, I'm going to create the keyword. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about what is the National Day of. Also, a few things that you need to know as we continue to promote the good in our community. We are here with our friend Karen Denman from Walker County Federal Credit Union. They have been serving this community for many, many years. Don't ignore the cookies keyword, and ignore that. Man, I didn't fix anything. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville here on this magnificent Monday. Stay with us, please.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 $100,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
So, what's inside the mysterious little box?
Whoa, what box? Oh, that box over there.
You went to Elliot.
Wait, don't open it yet. Oh, and yes, I went to see Elliot's Jewelers just a couple of days ago.
Inside the box, is it golden?
Well, I was a little concerned about the price of gold because it's high, but Elliot really helped me find something beautiful and monetarily agreeable.
Oh, well, hey, can I open it now? Please?
Whoa, just a little longer. You have to at least wait until Christmas Day.
Oh, well, I can do that.
Elliot's Jewelers. Fine jewelry and engravable gifts. Schedule your appointment at elliotsjewelers.com. That's ELLIOTTS Jewelers.com.
Make sure there's something extra special inside the mysterious little box you give this season.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 million investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville. Braylon, say, this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, there's a keyword, Karen.
Rest.
Is that guy really resting, though? Look, he's got a laptop. But I wouldn't mind that, though.
He looks like he's not resting.
He's setting up accounts at Walker County Federal.
Maybe so. Maybe he's applying online.
Karen, that would be you, though, right there. You know, if push came to shove, that would be Karen Denman right there, because she's so passionate about helping everybody that, you know.
When we were in Cancun, I got
Did you really?
got text messages and Facebook messages, and yeah. So
did you politely ignore them?
No, I didn't.
You
I
didn't.
answered,
What?
and told them if they could wait until I got back, I'd help them, or otherwise told them who to contact.
Yeah, man, look at this, Karen Denman. So, don't do that to
I
friends.
know.
If she is on vacation, leave the woman
They
alone.
didn't know. They didn't know. So
If she's on vacation, leave the woman alone. Let her rest. That is the key word. Let this woman rest. I felt bad one night. See, I'm guilty of this. I texted you one night, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll get that set up for you. And it was something to do with the loan. I think back when we got our little Hyundai way back in the day. And I'll never forget when I had my IT company. This guy always used to give me advice. Well, Rob, you just got to, at 5 o'clock, you just got to turn your phone off, Rob. Just tell people you're busy. You really need to make time for your family, and just turn your phone off. Well, guess who was the first one to call me and start getting upset when I didn't answer? That same guy.
person, yep.
And I reminded him. I said, I'll just say his initial, Mr. D. I said, Mr. D, do you remember when I was at your house one time and you told me to take it easy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, well, why are you getting upset at me? Well, I need it right now. This is really important. I said, but you just told me.
yep, turn the phone off.
Now, he paid well, so I didn't mind helping. He would butter me up, though. It was like, do you have any love-hate relationships in your life? You know, we all have them, I think. I had a love-hate relationship with 2 of my customers. And we got so comfortable as a client-customer relationship that we would just kind of tell it how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad. My dad my dad had no filter. With these 2 customers, I don't feel like they had a filter or I had a filter. And I remember telling that one of them was a lawyer. And I'll never forget, Andrea was her name. And I even told her this. I said, you know, we hate each other, but we love each other. She goes, yeah, absolutely. And she'd call me screaming at me, and I would just tell Andrea, I don't have time to listen to you today. I'm sick and tired of you calling me, screaming at me. I said, here, have a dose of it back at you, and slam the phone down.
Back when you could slam a phone.
Yeah, it was, and it was. I had a VoIP phone, and it was extremely unprofessional, but it was. But to this day, like I thought of her the other day, and I just randomly called her to check on her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those, and it's cool because we had that. It brings me joy thinking about it. Like I'm getting all fuzzy thinking about it. Like I may call her again today and ask how she is. But it was her, and she was like a divorce lawyer too. So you know that woman. That's like why she was on edge all the time. And then the other person was a retired car dealer. he owned a car dealership, and but he gave me a lot of knowledge. The thing with this guy is my dad would say the word crusty. This guy was very crusty. But not only would he, call and grouch at me, and I'd grouch back at him, he'd butter me up by, well, come on over. The wife and I have fish frying. Y'all come on over tonight and have fish with us. And so, he'd be grumbly with me, but he was very compassionate too. He didn't. I guess that was his way of apologizing. But he would even be kind of angry about that. Come on over and have fish with me. And so
Right.
I'd go over and eat fish with him. He'd grumble at me there too.
You were going to be in trouble if you didn't.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
So think about that this morning. Do you have any of those love-hate relationships in your life? Keyword, Karen, as we talked about earlier, it is up and running now. We're going to give away a little money today, and all you got to do is text in the keyword rest. Rest. Text that in on the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. That number, 936-339-0139. The keyword is rest. And Kyle Kreiner said that he texted in and he did not receive a confirmation. Hold on, Kyle. Let me go look here because we literally just set this up. This is like, Karen, real-time production as it's happening. This is right now as it's happening, checking this. Kyle, yeah, there it is. It says entry log. Kyle, yeah, you're in there, man. You're in there, Kyle. So text in the keyword rest. We got a little bit of money coming someone's way today. All you got to do is text that in. Karen, some cool events going on. We mentioned Fair on the Square. A lot of things happening around the community. But every Monday,
trivia. Come see us. October the 14th, which is also Monday, we won't be having trivia that day. And by the way, I won't be here that day. That's a holiday, so I'm going to rest.
You better.
On my holiday.
Don't be like that guy on the beach with his computer.
I won't.
It's probably that would actually be me. Bridget gets mad at me. She's like, "You're on the Facebook too much." You know what though? I use Facebook for marketing. That's my thing. And I don't know why, but I get paid to use Facebook now. They'll send me like $40-50 a month. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know what it's something to do with the content. And then I don't know what it was. There was like a fluke in the algorithm, and I wish there would be more of these flukes in the algorithm. 1 month, Karen, out of nowhere, $130 they sent me.
Wow.
And I don't know if it was like some video, something. I don't know where it was coming from. So yeah, that's my excuse why I'm on the social all the time. All right, well, we're having fun this morning. Karen Denman with Walker County Federal Credit Union joining us. Thank you all for being here with us today. A lot of you have been chiming in. Let us know that you're out there. I mentioned earlier that we were going to thank a very special person that's joining us this morning, and it happens to be Miss Joy Daly.
She's the best.
The mama of Karen Denman joining us as always. She said you should always follow the spirit of the heart. That's exactly right. So joy brings a lot of joy to folks, and I always just am thrilled whenever I see your mom chiming in. She said earlier, guilt is a gift you do not give yourself.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
it will tear you up, eat you up.
It will. A lot of other folks joining us this morning. Kyle Kreiner, good to see you on. Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks, great to have you with us. Hey, how about this lady? You know her. None other than DJP, Delphina Perez joining us.
Hey, Delphina.
Little DJ. I'm going to start calling her. What's
DJP.
Up? What's up, DJP? Oh, yeah, you know me. That's going to be the new rap for Delphina. Good morning, Delphina. Good to see you. Jamie, by the way, was talking when we were mentioning the cool side of places. He was saying, he said the left side was the old bus bay where the buses drove through. Do you know where that was?
Oh, back a long time ago.
At City Hall? Mm-hmm. So was that a bus station or something?
long time ago.
Really?
I've been around here a long time, so.
They need to pay some homage to that. Is there anything in there that shows that?
I don't know.
If somebody has like an old photo of that, that'd be so cool to have that hanging up in there. I had no idea. See, this is where I start feeling like maybe I don't belong in Huntsville because I don't know the history. Like Georgetown, I can tell you the history left and right because I grew up there.
Right.
I want to get to that point to where like, man, this used to be, because I do it all the time. People, when they come to Georgetown, probably get annoyed because I'm like, well, this used to be that. They don't care. But I love that kind of stuff.
Right. I
was so intrigued by Huntsville's history that I went back on Google Street View and started looking. Now, of course, it don't go way back past 2006. But, man, I was like, we had a Golden Corral?
Oh, yeah.
Where Seven Legs was? Mm-hmm. The Hastings was over there. The old HEB where it used to be.
Uh-huh. We had a Piggly Wiggly.
It's crazy. And you can see all the, if you go to Google Street View, now this was 20 years ago, but you can see some of the old Huntsville 20 years ago. It's like going back in a time machine. And imagine 20, like you're saying, go back another 20 years from that and how much things have changed.
I've been here a long, long time.
Can I throw a dart at you real quick?
Sure.
What is like, when you think about the way this community has grown, what are some of the positives that you've seen? You know, with businesses or just the growth, what are some of the things that you've seen that are like, this is really cool, I'm glad that this happened?
Well, I mean, just the 45 thing, the Target Strip Center and all of that. I mean, that used to be, you know, we didn't have a lot of stuff here in Huntsville. I mean, we had grocery stores and things like that, but we've got more retail, a lot more small businesses, which all communities need, and we all need to support those small mom and pop businesses as well. So we're growing. It's not going to stop. So we got to embrace it.
Do you feel like that growth on 45 was maybe a catalyst for a lot of growth?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're driving. It's just hard to imagine. Like, I even think about Georgetown, and when you drive down 35, it's so crazy through that area now. It's unbelievable because literally from San Antonio to Dallas is one major city through that whole area now. There's hardly any breaks in the highway now with as far as, you know, buildings and trees. I couldn't imagine driving down 45 and not seeing that development over there now. Was it the Ravenwood Shopping Center, I think is what it's called. I do remember, now that you've said it though, I do remember when my buddy Brandon was going to Sam Houston. He lived over Gateway over here, and I do remember coming into Huntsville, and it was, you drive down and it didn't seem like you were anywhere.
Right.
It didn't seem like there was nothing.
There didn't used to be anything there. I mean, there was a car dealership where like the IHOP and all that is. That was a Cole Motor Company. It was a dealership. And so, yeah, we didn't have any of that stuff over there.
It's weird to think how the highways help communities grow. And a lot of times what you'll see is when the highway comes in, things from the town move out to the highway and things downtown suffer from it. Here, it's been very vibrant. You know, there's been a good coexistence, if you will, from what we're seeing downtown and what we see out on the interstate, which the interstate isn't far away. But it's really neat to go back and think about a lot of those things and how things have changed over the years. You know, I go back to where I grew up, and I remember driving down 35 and there being nothing. And now, like I said, there's everything. I remember here, like I said earlier, when I went to see my buddy Brandon when he was going to school here, this was, 2004, 2005 maybe, because that hadn't been built yet over there.
I can't remember what year that was, but it seems like it's been there that long, at least.
I think
Maybe not.
I think I came right before all that got built, because I specifically remember driving down 45. I remember seeing Big Sam, and other than that, I don't remember seeing anything. I do remember this. You'll love this story. I had a Jeep. I had the top off the Jeep. I think I came down here with the doors off the Jeep too, because we'd been down at the coast. The Jeeps are cool. They're like Legos. You can just take them apart. So I had the top and the doors off. Drove all the way in from Georgetown like that because I knew it wasn't going to rain. Even if it did, a Jeep, you just pull the plugs and the water runs out of it. Well, I cruise in on 45, and I'll never forget, seeing a sign. They're not there anymore. I wish they were. It was kind of cool. It says, "Please do not pick up hitchhikers." Do you remember there were signs on the interstate? I remember this vividly that said, "Do not pick up hitchhikers." Why? Because the prison system.
Yes.
You don't know who's hitchhiking.
That's true.
I distinctly remember that sign. And there was like this, oh, man, this is kind of spooky, Here's the kicker to this story. Brandon's with me. My buddy Justin at the time is with me. We went to the old bowling alley. That was still open. He took us over there. I said, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, you got the Jolly Fox, you got shenanigans, and you got the bowling alley."
And that was it.
So we went to the bowling alley, and I'll never forget, and this was on the way there. It was still daylight outside. There was a guy. Guess what he was doing? Walking and hitchhiking. Well, I always want to help people, and I figured, well, there's three guys. This guy's not going to overpower us. So guess what I did? I picked him up. I told Brandon, I looked at Brandon, I was like, we need to go get that guy. Literally picked him up right after we saw the sign that says, "Don't pick up hitchhikers."
You did not listen.
Did not follow this. That's why the signs aren't there anymore.
Right. Nobody was following them anyway.
Picked the guy up, and I'm glad that we did, because the poor guy had been broken down. He's like, nobody's helping me around here. Well, they probably thought he was escaped from the prison. And he goes, "Thank you guys so much for picking me up," because actually my 18-wheeler broke down a few miles down the road. Well, cell phones weren't huge back then.
Right.
We're talking like 2004. Not everybody had a cell phone. And so he was just trying to find a way to get, so we dropped him off so he could get gas and call somebody to help him. He was a 18-wheeler's big rig driver, and poor guy couldn't get any help. And a CB didn't have a CB radio. Because I asked him, I said, well, what about your CB? He goes, my CB's not working. I was like, everything that could be against this guy was against that guy that day.
Yeah.
Except us picking him up right after a don't pick up a hitchhiker sign.
Well, I'm glad that worked out well.
So it all worked out. Well, Karen, just a few moments here, and we'll wrap up briefly. On this date in 1452, Karen, was the very first book was published. Do you know what it is? I would have not known this.
No.
John Gutenberg's Bible. Pretty cool. Needless to say, it was immediately named Book of the Month. It's the first book published, Book of the Month. These are horrible, right?
They are. We will not ask these sorts of questions at trivia, by the way. So.
You know what else? He was immediately accused of plagiarism.
Of course he was.
It went immediately to the top sellers. The
Absolutely.
number one.
Yeah,
number
since
one
it was the only
bestseller.
book.
Yeah. And critics were afraid to say anything about it, by the way. On this date in 1777, the Congress of the United States, forced to flee in the face of the advancing British forces, moved to New York, Pennsylvania. That was, at one point, our national capital was almost in New York. And it's kind of crazy to think about, how things have changed. What was it here? Wasn't the state capital almost in Huntsville for the state of Texas? I thought at one point there was a discussion that Huntsville could have been the state capital. And if you think about that, how much would the dynamics change of this community? What would it be like?
Oh, it would be crazy.
What would
Can you imagine us being Austin?
Yeah. What would Austin be like? What would Houston be like? It would be like we would be the big city. I won't go over a ton of these because we're running out of time here, but I do want to get to this. Today is who comes up with this stuff? It's Ask a Stupid Question Day today, Karen.
Oh my gosh.
That's what today is. So
Who does come up with that stuff?
Here's what you can do. If somebody comes into I know you love your customers, but if somebody comes in today, you can be like, why are you celebrating today? Huh? Why are you asking a stupid question? It's Ask a Stupid Question Day. It's also National Chewing Gum Day. Do you chew gum?
No.
I'm a gum chewer. I chew gum. National Podcast Day and National Mud Pack Day. There's nothing today that really intrigues me.
Me either.
Nothing today. September, by the way, almost over, just 2 days away. Chris Christopherson passing away yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he passed away yesterday. He starred in over 100 films. Such diverse music. 88 years old. I can't remember the exact, 81, 88, somewhere around there. But pretty tough to lose him. Things you need to know, which I just mentioned. Chris Christopherson. He's 88. Oscar-winning actress Maggie Smith from the Harry Potter and the Downton Abbey died on Friday at the age of 89. I didn't know who that was. Did you know that?
Me either, but I'm not a Harry Potter person.
Harry Potter. First Bibles, cryptocurrency now. Donald Trump offering signed gold watches with diamonds. $100,000 you can get your gold watch. If I had $100,000 just to blow, I'd probably get one of those. Be kind of cool to own that, Al Pacino, can you believe this? 84 years old today. I thought he would have passed already. It just seems like he's a guy that would have already been gone. I hate to say that, but Foo Fighters. Do you ever like the Foo Fighters?
No.
Well, we won't even read about them then. Who cares? I don't like them either.
Y'all come see us at trivia tonight at Rodeo.
Yeah. Finally, UPS plans to hire 125,000 seasonal workers to help out with the upcoming holiday season crunch. Man, they get so busy.
I bet they do.
Today's impossible question. Think about this real quick. The average American ignores this for up to 4 months. What is it? Average American ignores this. Maybe signs of pneumonia. No, I'm just kidding. If you ignored that
would be me.
Karen, if you would have ignored that for 4 months, we may not be talking to you right now.
True.
But the average American ignores this for up to 4 months. Try to figure that out, and we'll read a couple more of these. Did you know 1 in 5 employees has had a Gen Z or so up for an interview with a parent? What if somebody came into the credit union
with their parent?
With their parent.
Oh my goodness! Surely people don't do that.
1 in 5. Can you believe that? 1 in 5 employers. That means if you put 100 employers in this room, 20 of them will say that a Gen Zer came in for an interview with their parent. Now, I kind of want to know the context of that. Does that mean maybe the parents brought them there and the parents are just waiting in the lobby?
Surely that's what it means, that they didn't go in the interview with them.
Because I could see that. But if I was a parent, I would wait in the parking lot while I could get not having a ride. Well, actually, I couldn't. I'd give my kids some money and say, go get a ride. I'm not showing up with you to your interview.
Yeah, and if you don't have a ride, how are you going to get to the job anyway?
Yeah, good example. See, this is why we talk to Karen.
We do need you to show up if we hire you.
More than 1 in 4 Americans say they take a stuffed animal to bed every night at bedtime. Now, I take a real stuffed animal, sometimes my dog. You know? Are your cats, are they sleeping cats with you? That's the best thing about a cat. I'm not a cat person. I love your cats, but I wouldn't have my own. That's why I love your cats.
Yes,
but
I do have sweet cats.
I like cats cuddling up, though. The average person buys 3 rolls of wrapping paper every holiday season. Praise the Lord for Bridget's mom, Miss Nikki. I don't buy wrapping paper. Her mom has tons of it. I haven't bought wrapping paper in 10 years thanks to her mom. And then we wrap the presents the night before. Do you do that, or are you like weeks before?
It just depends on when I get them.
One morning I even wrapped presents Christmas morning.
Oh, I can believe that. A lot of people do that. Nothing like the last minute.
A couple of last things here. Leaving the lights on, the number one pet peeve of dads. I'm huge against that. I do not like the lights left on. I can understand that one. 36% of Americans say that they have cursed out or verbally abused their computer or device in the past 6 months.
I can believe that.
Does yours have a broken screen?
No, it doesn't.
One of my outbursts, I punched my phone years ago. Now, the anger has settled down. But I've broken 2 phones. One at my office that's when I sold my IT company because I literally threw the phone. The second was I punched it and the screen broke. Don't worry, this was old Rob, Karen, old Rob. 2/3 of the time, we don't finish purchases in online shopping carts.
That's true.
I
believe that. Add to cart, and then you
leave it there.
Yeah.
And Amazon
it just hangs there, and it'll send you a reminder. You left something in your cart. Yeah.
I have 18 items I know the number. I have 18 items in my Amazon cart. All right, let's go back and then we'll wrap it up. Today's impossible question. The average American ignores this up to 4 months. Did you have any thoughts on what it may be?
I don't. I don't know what that could be.
Something to do with a vehicle.
Oh, maintenance, oil changing or something?
The check engine light. Average American will leave that thing on for 4 months before they address it.
Now, I don't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I leave, this is bad.
Tire pressure, maybe.
I ignore the tire because I know when my tire has a leak and I'll keep refilling it. So it's not that I ignore it, but sometimes I won't get the tire fixed, for a long time.
Right.
Because it conveniently is always in the spot where you need a new tire. Every time. I'd never have those easy flats to where you just...
I had one of those recently, right in the sidewall, huge nail.
And then you can't fix it.
Nope, got to get a new tire.
That's right. Well, hey, a couple of last ones here. Steph Valley said I had a person bring their boyfriend to an interview.
Oh, my goodness.
Steph, how did you approach that? Did you literally say, what are you doing?
Needless to say, they probably did not get hired.
I would almost, I know this sounds judgmental, but it's just being professional and the etiquette.
Yeah.
I would almost tell them, go, thank you, see you later.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even waste my time with the interview.
But some of these young people don't see the problem with that, which to me is a problem, that you don't see that that's a problem.
Look what Kyle said. Kyle said, give the boyfriend the job instead. That would be great, Steph. You should. Oh, well, you get the job, not you. Tara Burnett said that we have had parents bring in their kids and they've actually introduced themselves and talked on their child's behalf. So this really is a thing.
Oh, you got to be kidding, Tara.
I didn't think this was a thing. I thought it was just some made-up stat.
Yeah. I wouldn't have believed that. That's crazy.
Wow. Their parents come in and speak on their behalf. Sorry, Kyle. He likes the Foo Fighters, and so does my sister. So sorry about that, guys. Karen and I, not a fan.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you one song that they have.
I couldn't either. I've heard of them, but I don't know what they sing.
They sound like a bunch of foo-foo to me, to be honest. I'm not going to listen to them.
Bunch of foo fighting.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Hey, our winner today, I will get the phone line hooked back up this week, but let's hit a little refresh here, and let's go to the keywords. And guess what, Kyle? You're the only one that texted in today. We have a lot of people watching, but it's probably because we got the keyword late. So, Kyle, $10 coming your way today. Thank you for joining us. See that, Karen? Look, one One person. It's probably because I didn't get the keyword out early enough. You can text in all week long. Kyle, you can't win anymore. Sorry, buddy, but you'll win today. $10 going to Kyle. And we will have Cafe Texan gift cards coming up this week as well as we start a new month. So make sure to stay locked in, engaged. And remember tonight,
Trivia. Come see us, 6 o'clock at Rodeo.
So come on out.
For some fun and food and drinks and entertainment.
And some yeehawing.
That's right.
Does anybody ever yeehaw at the...
No, we don't do that.
Y'all should do that. Y'all should have a trivia question about, like, what is the... I don't know. Y'all should somehow get people to yeehaw. Do that tonight. Tell them before we get started.
I'll mention that to Denise.
Yeah.
See if she can work that out.
I don't know if people would do that. It'd be kind of awkward. I would do it. All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Hey, go by and see our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. By the way, Credit Union cookies went good on Friday.
Yes, we finally got the cookie oven that Rob has been promising after months.
That schmuck.
And we cooked our first batch on Friday. So come see us every Friday for some Credit Union cookies.
And there's officially Otis Spunkmeyer dough.
There is. And we've ordered some. It wasn't there in time this week, but hopefully we'll have it for Friday, coming Friday.
We're going to sponsor the dough 1 week for y'all, too.
Awesome.
So I did want to mention, by the way, that oven, I got a killer deal on it because there was an estate sale in Elkins this week, and guess what was at the estate sale in the garage?
Another cookie oven?
Otis Spunkmeyer cookie oven. And did you know that they wanted $150 more for that
Wow.
oven than what I paid for this one?
Oh, my goodness.
It was if this was your estate sale, I'm just going to tell you, it was bad. It was horrible. I'm just going to be honest. This show is all about uplifting. Your estate sale, if it was you, was the worst estate sale I've ever been to. Not because of the variety and selection of items, because of how ridiculously high-priced everything you had was. There was a mixer, one of those, what's the?
KitchenAid.
KitchenAid mixer. You can buy those new for what, $350? I
don't have one.
They had a used one for $275.
Wow.
Okay, they had a bicycle for like $90. You can get a brand new bike. Here's the other kicker. Toothpaste in the box, brand new. You know how much they were selling it for?
$5.
$4 a tube.
Wow.
I was like, when I go to I walked out of there and I even told a guy, I said, man, you got to be a millionaire. He goes, yeah, we didn't buy nothing. It was the worst estate sale price-wise.
And I love going to those
Yes.
things.
It tarnished me. I don't know if I'm going to go anymore. So, and I didn't have the heart to tell
Well, it was probably the
tell
company that was doing the estate sale. I think they priced that stuff.
I don't know, it's two little sweet little ladies in there. I just didn't have the heart to tell them, like,
Yeah, your stuff's too high.
y'all need to be like my dad. When he'd go out to eat, he'd 25-cent tip. That's the way my dad did. No, I'm just kidding. All right, he was old school. He didn't know any better. As he got older, he did. He
Yeah.
tipped actually a little too much. So one of my friends was like, man, is your dad coming back in? Well, he gave me the biggest tip I ever got. I was like, no, I'm telling him not to come in. He needs to give me that tip. So, well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Go by and see our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. They will take care of you. They have been in this community for a long time. It's Walker County Federal Credit Union for all of your financial needs. If there's something that they can't do, I guarantee they will help you, set you to the right people who can. But more than likely, they can take care of you. Go see Karen, Denise, Toy, the entire gang over there. Ruthie's been there forever. Taylor's there. All of them will take excellent care of you. Rachel's there, too. I can't leave Rachel out. She'll get
Right.
We do our HL.
We got to get Ruthie on the show, though.
Yeah. She told me the other day, she goes, they keep talking to me about this show. I ain't coming on that show. That's exactly what she told me. We'll be back at it tomorrow with our friends from Guardian Defense, Jason Thompson. Until next time, friends, as I remind you every single morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. Please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, with Guardian Defense at 7:30. Until then, so long, and God bless. See you, Karen.
Bye.